Working with James Brown, that was a pretty unique experience for me being a drummer because, you know, he's the godfather of soul. So if you can't play drums right for James Brown, you're not funk certified. So you suck. What we usually do around Grammy time, we used to have these events called the P-Pod. So we would get a whole bunch of artists to come perform with us. We would have a house band, which would be the Peas band, and then maybe like a Randy Jackson or a Carlos Santana. They'll come sit in with the house band. So this particular time, it was Justin, James Brown, Flora Tree, Earth, Wind & Fire, Carlos Santana. So it was like a big roster of people. So we get into rehearsal and we have our Peas band and Raphael Saadiq is playing bass with us, which was really cool, a good friend. James comes in with Bobby, the infamous Bobby that everybody hear about on all the records. So he comes in, he looks at the band, says hi. So we start running the songs. He stops us. And we were like, uh-oh, like James Brown stopped us. So he started going around to each individual person telling them what he wanted us to play. One of our horn players in the band, Bobby goes up to him and says, excuse me, Mr. Brown says, can you not play on this song? So our saxophone player got fired by Mr. Brown. He couldn't play on the song, so he was just standing there like, okay, I guess I won't play. So at that time, like me and Raphael was just like, oh God, is he gonna tell us not to play? So he goes over to Raphael Saadiq next. So Raphael's playing bass. He's like, nah, I want you to play the bass. I don't want you to play the bass down here. I want you to play it up here. So he gives him some crazy bass line that for bass players, you know, you play low notes because that's what a bass guitar is. So he had him playing up here, like super high notes. It's James Brown. You don't really argue with him about what not to play. So he starts playing this crazy bass line that's super high. And then he comes to the drums. I'm just like, okay, Mr. Brown. And he says, no, I want you to play the beat like this. So I wish I had a drum set to show you, but it was the most backwards drum beat ever. But I had to play it because he's funk personified. That's James Brown. So he has me play this beat like the bass drum is doing this. I'll never forget it. And the hi-hat's like, then the snare drum. He had me play that for about 15 minutes. So we're all rocking out to like, Raphael's playing this high part. I'm playing this crazy drum beat. My friend on saxophone got fired. Keyboard player's playing. Justin Timberlake singing with James Brown. It was like the craziest, I couldn't believe it. And just being able to be a drummer and have a chance to play along with James Brown is just like, that was one of my greatest life moments to be able to play with him, especially, you know, us Chicago folks. We live with the soul, you know, and get a chance to work with him was amazing. It was awesome.
Imagine, you know, you come into your door, somebody's ringing your bell and you open it and it's Jam Master Jay.
For one split second, all I thought about was, what are we gonna eat for lunch? What does Michael Jackson eat?
These white boys that get bussed in from Stillmore or wherever, they don't know. All they know is what they see on TV and what they've heard. So when they hop out the car, they're scared than a motherfucker anyway.
I just want to continue to make music. Man, no one's ever gonna get that. The whole thing for me is just continue to make music. Get up, shake it off, and just make music about it. And break down crying when the song hits you a couple weeks from now.